providing for you means money. He's paying all the bills. He's doing anything you want him to do. But guess what? That's not what it is, baby. See, me and my man, we've been together 24 years, and that's half his life. A man that has his head on straight, he knows that provision means way more than just the money. And a woman that has her head on straight knows that as well, especially if she has children. You see, my man had the character that he needed to be a part of my family, to lead our children, to lead me. He knew how important it was to sit down with me and set some goals, to talk about how we were going to run this family and run our relationship. Yeah, I said run because your relationship is just like a business. If you don't run it right, it's going to go wrong. And of course, finances were a big part of that. But baby, at that time, we had to go 50-50 because neither one of us made enough money to pay everything on our own for what we wanted. And I was good with that because I knew that man had the heart to go for his goals and dreams and to push me to go for mine. And that kind of man and woman would push each other to do better so they can have better and be better together. See, if you're making it all about the money, then you might have a man that makes all this money, paying all the bills, giving you everything you want, but he's lonely and so are you. But if you're patient, work together, and one or both of you end up making a whole bunch of money and being able to afford anything you want, that's the man you want, baby. Because you can be wealthy and rich or wealthy and lonely. Get your priorities straight, baby. I love you. Be well.
So we're looking into the 50-50 mindset. So we have all types of people that are going to give you their point of view on what they think about the 50-50 mindset. So let's dig deeper.
This is how I know that I'm in the twilight zone. Because we have a generation of men today where they get mad at women for being independent and they don't create the space for a man to feel needed. Yet those same men also get mad at women for not entertaining the whole 50-50 narrative. Like, do you understand how insidious and how diabolical that is? That's like telling a woman, fellas, how dare you be independent and you don't allow me to take care of you halfway. Like, that is that makes my head hurt. That makes my head hurt, dog, because the fact that my daughters, I have 2 daughters and a son with my wife, and the fact that my daughters are growing up in this generation of men that think this way is nasty work, bruh. It is a new level of diabolical behavior in the thought process that I never thought I would see. Jesus need to come down right now on a chariot. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but man, I'm thinking about my daughters when I don't know, dude. It's not really the 50-50 thing. It's really more so a mindset that y'all really don't understand that you're exposing these women to. You're basically telling her, this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to stay right here, low vibration, and I want you to join me. I'm not going to try to increase my money, my bank account. I'm not going to try to increase my effort. I'm not going to try to increase the quality of life. I want you to be right here with me halfway. That's what you're telling women. Golly, I'm in the twilight zone. Ungodly sassiness at its finest. Stop it.
The moment that man stops paying for you, he does not like you anymore. The moment that man stops paying for dinners and things for you, he has moved on in his head. He's thinking about something else. He's thinking about someone else. He doesn't like you anymore. The minute that man starts bringing up 50-50 ideology, 50-50 in relationships, because I guarantee you they're not going to do it on the first few dates if they're trying to pursue you. As soon as he brings that up, know that his mindset has shifted. Know that he's not trying to pursue you anymore, and that is when your guard needs to be way up. That's when he's starting to surf out the other options. I didn't understand this until it happened to me, and then I realized in every relationship that went badly with me, this always happened. The guy always wanted to go 50-50 all of a sudden. Or he would bring up how, like, you know, he just believed in that. And I'm like, no. I best believe it did not last long after that due to my decision.
I don't think a woman should ever marry a man that does not have a mind to 100% provide for her. If you sit down and you have a conversation with a man as a woman and he's sitting there, he's bringing up 50-50, I want you to come up with 50, I'm going to come up with, he's not a masculine man. If I were a woman, I would dismiss any man that came up with a conversation about 50-50 because he's lacking somewhere in terms of his masculinity.
Don't work. if you accept a man that wants to do 50-50 today, you're going to be doing 50-50 or more for the rest of your life if things go well with that man. You get what I'm saying? And unless that's what you want, that's the life you signed up for, you're going to be contributing your part, and that will be true even if you have kids, even if you have multiple kids, even no matter the circumstances, you'll still be expected to pay your half. You get what I'm saying? So if you accept 50-50, that's going to be your future. And it's maybe even worse. You see what I mean? You're going to be expected to carry that financial burden despite the responsibility of the children. And other things too. And oftentimes, not only will you be expected to pay for half, but you'll also be expected still to do like the traditionally woman's roles in the household. You think that changes, by the way? Just because the men likely are going to expect that regardless. They're going to expect the traditional women roles to be fulfilled, whether you're contributing financially or not. You see? So, if you allow that shit from the beginning, okay, you're going to be paying and doing all what would, generally speaking, the traditional feminine roles are. You see? You're going to work a full job, then you're going to come home and clean, then you're going to take care of the kids, and then you're going to do all that shit again tomorrow. And it'll be your sole responsibility, basically. That's what happens. That's what's going to happen to you. Okay? So, and the way I see it is that if a man is if a man is asking you to contribute 50-50 to dinner tonight, hey, let's go on a date. I'll pay half and you pay half. If you allow for that man to accept 50-50 from you, he's going to start calculating how he can live his life with you financially contributing to it. Because it might just start out with just dinner, but then the next thing you know, you're moving in and you're paying half of his mortgage and paying for half of the electricity and half of the utilities and half of the cleaning service or whatever that is, if that's not you. And that's going to be the rest of your life while his name is on the lease, the mortgage, whatever. All right? You're going to end up paying. He's going to get a better car because you're contributing to paying for half his mortgage, and then you're going to, and therefore be paying for half of his car too. That's how it's going to go. That's what that means. Okay? So if you want that, then just be prepared to shoulder that burden for the rest of your fucking life. So you allow yourself. Men already want you. As a woman, men already want you. Okay? And they'll do what they can to get you. And that definitely means paying for you too, if that's what it takes. You see? And if all women banded together and said, hey, that's what it takes, then they would just do that. They would accept that. Don't you see? They used to accept that. That was kind of the tradition for a long, long time. So, if you would just simply say, that's the requirement to have me as a woman around you in your life, then they would rise to the occasion. But it's, most of y'all out there just saying, no, this is fine. I'm cool with 50-50. I'm cool with paying my half. I should pay my way. Because you think you're being a good person or whatever. But really, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And you're also making the man weaker. The man should himself think, what do I need to do to provide enough for myself and my family? And if I'm not making enough to provide not only for myself but for my close family around me, I'm not doing enough yet, and I need to improve my life before I start dating. But since y'all are allowing this, you're enabling this, he's just going to start doing mental math about, if she moves in with me, then I can also afford a bigger car payment and then get a new Camaro. Ta-da! How romantic. Is that what you want?
Young lady, you don't have to go 50-50 with your man. But do you understand the meaning of teamwork? Do you understand if both of you are making the same amount of money and both of you are living paycheck to paycheck and neither one of you can afford to have that place and pay all the bills by yourself? You both have car note and you got a kid together, so you both have childcare that you share. If you're a team, you do what's best for the team, for the family, for the good of all, not just you. You see, just because my man pays just about every bill now does not mean it was always that way. There was a time when we were in your shoes, and 50-50 was the smart thing to do. And even though it was more 60-40, him 60, me 40, it was still the smart thing to do for us. teamwork. We were building together. We were supporting each other's goals and dreams so we both can make more money. And even when he got laid off, we found a way because I was determined to have his back like I would expect him to have mine had I got laid off. And that's exactly what happened. I had his back until he found another job, which was in a couple of months, and he had mine when I went back to school, graduated and had a better job, which caused both of our incomes to rise. And that was in the first 3 years of our relationship. And we've been together 24 years now. Our family has reaped the benefits of our teamwork. Our daughters and our grandson have watched us and our parents in action, and they know how to work as a team as a result of it. We rise as a team, baby. Be well.
Let's talk about 50-50, because a lot of y'all are not living in reality when we're having this conversation. You want a man to pay all the bills, take care of the rent or mortgage, lashes, car notes, nails, hair, take care of the kids. The list goes on and on, right? He needs to provide. And I'm not saying that you don't deserve that. I'm saying that the reality and the statistics show that that is not the reality, because most men simply cannot afford to do that. The world we live in right now is crazy expensive. And even if that was the case, I'm sure most men would love to be able to take care of their women. However, the way society is set up right now, that is not a realistic expectation. And it's not because these men are lazy or they don't love you. The real truth is, most people are not rich. I don't care what society tells you. If we look at the actual numbers, the average person barely makes $50,000 a year. That's across the board. Like, go look at the stats. So where are we supposed to get all of this extra income from? And why is it that every time we talk about provision, we're talking about money in particular? Because provision is way more than money. In provision, a man could come in and provide peace. Maybe this man could provide protection or emotional security. There's so much more provision than just finances. Let's get that straight too. So many of my ladies are out here saying, oh, I'd rather pay 100% than to go 50-50. And I get that. I really do. You've been hurt. You've been disappointed by certain men. I get why you say that. But I want to just talk about why it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Studies show that the best way to level up, to build wealth, is to work together. Being 50-50 with your person, with the right person, is not struggle. It's actually strategy. You got to think bigger. It's two people building together. It's shared vision. It is respect and contribution, not one-sided survival. Being alone and doing it 100% by yourself sounds empowering, but is it peace or is it pride wrapped in pain? Because when the bills hit and life gets heavy, and it will, it's not about flexing your independence. It's about having someone who's going to show up with you. 50-50 is not about splitting bills. It's about sharing a life. And that's way more important than money.